Your ability to achieve the things you want in life is dictated by the thoughts that you think and by the actions that you take as a result of those thoughts. This means that if you're not performing at the level you want, whatever that may mean for you, you have to transform your patterns of thought. Hello, and welcome to The Joy Within, where we're eliminating negativity one thought at a time. I'm Kyle Greenfield, and I'll be your guide as we explore how to be calm, confident, and happy in our crazy modern world. Join us each week as we dive into some of the biggest ideas in spirituality and personal development. We'll learn what it takes to gain control of your own mind, master your mood, and navigate the many ups and downs along the way. Visit thejoywithin.org to get started so you can become the calm, confident, and happy person you truly deserve to be. Hello, and welcome back to the Joy Within's podcast. This is the final episode in our series on uncovering the real cost of negativity. So far, we've looked at the physical, emotional, financial, and interpersonal costs of not becoming the calm, confident, and happy person that you deserve to be. And today, we're turning to that last category, which is your level of impact. Before we dive in, I just want to say that the very fact that you're here, listening to this, even just beginning to think about how your energy, your thoughts, and your mood can create a positive ripple in the world, that automatically puts you into what I think is one of the highest levels of evolution and of consciousness. It means you already have the desire, the drive, to improve both for yourself and for others. And everything that we talk about, you can choose to see either as a refinement, a honing, a focus of that desire, or as a catalyst, an accelerant for that. So, the premise behind this final cost is really quite simple. Your ability to achieve the things you want in life is dictated by the thoughts that you think and by the actions that you take as a result of those thoughts. This means that if you're not performing at the level you want, whatever that may mean for you, you have to transform your patterns of thought. It doesn't matter whether you're the CEO of a global company or a parent baking cookies first with meat. Your level of impact comes down to your thoughts. And the reason for that is simple. You can only give what you have. We talked about this a little bit last time. If you want to give more, you have to become more. If you want to have a bigger impact, you have to raise your energy. You have to start to think from a new, higher level. The connection is clear, and it happens on a physiological level. Your thoughts will physically change your brain chemistry and which synapses fire. So higher order thoughts physically allow you to think more clearly and see new opportunities. It also happens on an emotional level, as positivity drives you forward, it propels you, giving you more energy and making you feel more excited and more engaged with whatever you're doing. And it happens on an energetic level as well, as you start to attract the people and the resources that will help you to get you to your goal. The problem is, most of the time, we just don't think about this connection. We don't take the time to step back and realize how often our little habits, little flashes of doubt or worry or complaints can stop us. They literally cut us off from living at a higher level, from having the impact we really want to have. But when you draw this connection, when you take time to reflect on how your thoughts and beliefs are keeping you from your most important goals, your mindset shifts. It's like you raise the stakes and realize that you can no longer tolerate the patterns that were keeping you in place. As Tony Robbins would say, your should becomes a must. And that's what will catalyze real, lasting change. Imagine a parent who is a little out of shape, but it's not a big deal, until one day they have a health scare, and they suddenly realize that if they don't change their diet, if they don't start to exercise, if they don't quit smoking, they're never going to be alive to be there for their kids. They're not going to see them get married, they're not going to see their grandkids, and that hits them. And once they have that realization, they can change in an instant. This is just like that. If you don't shift your mindset, you're not really going to be able to be there for your family, for your community, and for the world at large. And that's a scary thing to realize. For me, personally, one day it just sort of hit me. I just knew. I'd been bumbling along, working a job that I hated, passively wanting to do something more and not really knowing what. And one day I just sort of woke up and knew that I had to change. I had to raise my game. Because I realized that if I were to stay on the same track and look back from 20 years down the line, I knew I would regret it. But you don't have to wait for that wake-up call to come out of nowhere. You can create it for yourself. First, start to think about what you really want to do, not what you think that you should do or what you've convinced yourself to settle for. What is it that you really want to do? What is the impact you really want to have? And you might already know what that is for you, or it might feel like a fleeting idea, a passing thought that you immediately block out. Maybe you think you can't do it, or you think you would do it if only you had more money, if only you had more time. Those if-onlys are really dangerous. So just focus on the idea, the pure desire, without letting those thoughts squash it. Imagine an ideal world where you knew absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, that you really could have whatever level of impact you choose. And as you think this, if you really let your imagination run wild, almost always your logical mind will object. It will give you those if-onlys. It will come up with reasons that you can't do it, and that's okay. If you know those objections are coming, you can be ready for them. So just notice them, because those thoughts and the underlying beliefs they point to are what needs to change. So when they come up, you can start to see those thoughts, those objections, as the number one thing getting in your way. Become very clear about it, because that's how you're going to build the strength, the resolve, to break through them and make real, lasting positive change. My hope is that these last few episodes have helped to get you to that point. I honestly think that, for most people, the biggest obstacle to becoming the calm, confident, and happy person that you deserve to be, the biggest obstacle to stepping into that better, higher version of yourself, is that we just don't have the drive to do it. We either don't think it's possible or realistic to live from that higher state, or we don't even realize the many ways, often the very subtle ways, that our thoughts are holding us back. So because of that, we often don't realize that changing our thoughts, learning how to raise our own individual level of consciousness, is the most important thing we can do. I honestly think it should be your number one goal. I believe it is your most sacred responsibility, because everything else in your life flows from that state. So I hope these episodes have helped you to make that shift, to see your thoughts in a new light. Because once you decide to change, once you choose to prioritize your happiness, your peace, and your well-being over everything else in your life, the rest of the process is way easier than you think. Because we are here for you. We have the tools and the support that you need to prioritize your joy, to raise your energy, and to start living up to the person that you are meant to be. So when you're ready to step it up, head over to thejoywithin.org and sign up for Happiness University. It's free to get started, and I promise that if you follow along with the simple strategies that we teach, it will not be long before you look back and wonder why you stayed stuck for so long. When raising your energy, getting ahead of your thoughts, eliminating that little negative voice, is fundamentally something that is so effortless and something that you are already naturally capable of. But you have to make the decision. You have to choose. You have to take action. So when you're ready, head over to thejoywithin.org and get started with Happiness University. Thanks for listening to today's episode. When you're ready to put these ideas to work in your own life, head over to thejoywithin.org and sign up for Happiness University. When you do, you'll have access to all of the tools and strategies you need to eliminate negative thoughts by tuning in to the joy within. You can follow a simple, step-by-step system to become the calm, confident, and happy person you deserve to be. Visit thejoywithin.org to get started today. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you love, because I think we can all use a little more joy in our crazy modern world.